Hi YouTubers, Naruka Fan 2 here. And I actually wanted to say like what the mainstream media is actually doing about the whole 2011 Tuscan shooting. I predict in the very, very near future that they're gonna say that this guy was a right-wing, Constitution-supporting Christian Tea Partier, which in fact he is actually non, and they will say that the Second Amendment does not apply anymore, that they must get rid of it. And people, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up and realize the corrupt officials in Congress and the United States President Obama actually wants to take away your right to own and to bear arms. I actually created a quote, and it is, here's my quote: "When the government takes away your right to defend yourself, you end up with tyranny under a tyrannical government." People, don't give up your guns by any means necessary, because if you'll just hand over your guns to the government, you will actually saying, "Enslave me. I am no longer free. I am your slave." People, you gotta wake up and do not, and I mean do not, give in to government pressure and let them take away your guns. If you let them take away your guns, you're submitting to slavery. People, wake up. Your government wants to enslave and kill you. They want to take your children away from you. They want to brainwash your children into submitting and turning in soldiers for the New World Order government. You gotta wake up. Gun control is what the communists of the past and present day, and also it's the same thing the Nazis did too. They gave up their guns, and look what happened. They ended up becoming dictatorships. People, do not submit to this tyranny, because if you submit, you will die under this tyranny. People, they are also trying to take away your right to free speech. Like the whole toning down the rhetoric. You know what that actually means? It means shut up. Do not question government. Do as we say. They are trying to silence your right to free speech and criticize government of what their corrupt doings and backroom dealings. People, you gotta wake up. Government, like your government in America and the government here in Canada and all around the world are all corrupt. If they start taking away people's rights to free speech and gun ownership and the ways to defend themselves, a revolution is justified. Because the founding fathers of America put the Second Amendment in to preserve the right to defend themselves and to overthrow a corrupt government that infringes on people's rights and freedoms. The Second Amendment was meant to keep the corrupt government from becoming too powerful and becoming a dictatorship. People, I warn you, in the very near future, they're going to say that Christians, constitutionalists, gun rights activists, gun rights supporters, free speech activists, and all people who are compassionate, they'll be labeled as terrorists. Mark my words, this is going to happen. So I recommend you do not, I repeat, do not submit to this tyranny. Because if you submit to this tyranny, you'll be a slave under that government. So, under like the Constitution of America, which I actually got a copy of, which I made copies for friends in America, and under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution's Bill of Rights, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances, which the government is actually now saying you are not allowed to do. That is an infringement and a violation of that right, of the First Amendment. This is the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution's Bill of Rights. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What Congress and gun control supporters are actually trying to take away people's right to own and the right to defend themselves. See, people, you gotta understand. The government wants to actually take away your rights of all your freedoms. So do not let them take away that right. Because if they do take away that right, I do suggest a revolution is justified. Because if you actually let them take away that right, you will be enslaved. Because in communist countries like China, Cuba, and other communist countries that you are not allowed to criticize, question government, you're not allowed to peacefully assemble, which is protesting, and other rights under like freedom of speech. Also, they're not allowed to defend themselves with any type of weapons. That includes machetes, guns, bats, a whole bunch of different other stuff. And look, they're basically slaves under their government. So if you allow the government to take away your right to defend yourselves or your right to free speech, you know something's wrong with that government, because they're corrupt, they're power hungry, and they're dictators supporting psychopaths. So my quote is, when the government takes away your right to defend yourself, you end up with tyranny under a tyrannical government. Mark my words. The government and the multimedia will say that free speech and the Second Amendment, it's no longer needed. Just wait. It's going to happen. I don't know what day or year or when this is going to happen, but I know it will happen, because it is signs of the government saying that. Because people of America who are Obama worshippers, Obama supporters, wake up. Your so-called Führer, Barack Obama, you think he actually cares about you? Wrong. You are so wrong. People, you gotta wake up and realize your government is corrupt, and those who work in it, who are actually striving for that, for suppressing free speech and your right to defend yourselves, they are actually communists. People, wake up and stand up for your rights, stand up for your freedoms, because if you submit to this tyranny, you will be enslaved and you will be killed under that tyrannical government. So wake up, stay vigilant, and watch what your government is doing, and take a look from past history, because the Nazis have done this, and the communists of the former Soviet Union have done this. And look at the Communist Party of China. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. And may God bless all the patriots who stand up for freedoms of all life, and those who stand against the tyranny of the global elites. Freedom supporters, you have my salute.